What's up, Geek Variants? We got some great new anime on the way, and I am excited to talk about it, including Blue Lock Season 2. So let's talk about it. All right, Geek Variants. So today I'm talking about some of the anime that's coming up for this fall season. I've been trying to keep an eye on Crunchyroll and various other sites stuff that have anime dropping and what the new stuff is. So just a few names of some of the stuff. I know we got Roni Kenshin, you got Ranma, one half that's on its way. You got Blue Exorcist, Blue Lock season 2 is on the way. I think there's Goodbye Dragon Life. Like there's several animes that are just kind of popping up, and I've been trying to keep tabs on all of them, trying to see what's up. Because again, I've been out the anime game for a long time when I joined the military, so I'm trying to get caught up on all the good stuff that I've missed and everything thus far. So Blue Lock season 2 is one of the ones that's on my list coming up. I actually just watched that one recently, as well as the movie that dropped. I want to say back in like June or something like that. The movie dropped, but this anime came out. I want to say like 2022, something like that. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is about soccer or football, depending on where you're from. And with this, it was really surprising what the premise was for this. Basically, the Japan national team didn't do so well in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. So the Japan Football Union hired this guy named Ego, and his whole plan was to lead Japan to stardom and was to build a training regiment around this program he developed called Blue Lock. And he wanted to create the world's greatest egotist striker. Like his whole goal was just to create the best striker that could lead Japan to victory and just kind of do what they do as far as be really good at whatever kind of thing that they're focused on. So everyone who he sent out things to, I think he's about 300 people that he sent out letters to that, hey, here's your shot. You come to Blue Lock, you make a choice, you be here, you're in it to win it, and see how far you go. If you fail, you will not be able to represent Japan in any capacity whatsoever. And the main character, Yuichi Asagi, he's just a high school football player, and he's trying to figure out, how to play and what to do. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to become the best striker. I'm going to do it. And he rushes in to do it. And that's just kind of what sets up for him to be the main character going forward for trying to develop his style around whatever egos got got planned for Blue Lock. Now, the thing about this anime, it was really, really good because everybody was fooled. The people in the anime, as well as us, because again, we think of whatever he has going on. 300 people brought in that, hey, these people are going to be the best, of the world. We're going to do this round robin and figure out team versus teams. So we focus on VW, X, Y, and Z. And I think Isagi's team is like bottom of the barrel, and they all got their rankings and stuff on the shoulder. And it changes based off of whatever you got going on, how well you do, how many goals you score, all that kind of stuff adds to your credibility. So those people who are at the top of their particular team, they kind of got a safety net. Those are the ones that are going to pass on. If you don't, you're going to fall to the wayside and get eliminated. So as they were playing VWXYZ, and they're playing against some crazy players. And as they're doing this, I'm trying to figure out like what kind of things they're going to put a spin on it to make this a really interesting anime. Everybody's got some type of ability that they're able to get out. Like they basically either already know they have it or they discover it in the process, and it gets really crazy. I'm not going to go through all of them as possible at the moment. Like there's a lot of different characters with their different little quirks and stuff, but some of the main characters are like Isagi. He discovers his, later on as he's trying to figure out, and he's watching everybody else utilize theirs. So he's one of the ones that I'll say at the bottom of the list. But to bring it up, like there's one guy named Kunigami. He's got this finesse shot that he is absolutely good at making. Like he knows that from, I think, like 20 yards out or something like that, he knows that he can hit this shot every single time. Like that is his sweet spot, that he knows what's up. He is going to hit this shot every single time where he's aiming it. Now, not to say that it can't be blocked, but this is his shot, and a lot of people may not see it coming. So absolutely cool. Like that's his thing. Chicory, he's got this speed snipe thing. He's one of the characters, had a leg injury, freaking got better to this, so he's been like afraid to showcase his potential. But once he breaks those shackles, he's like, "Yo, I'm in it," so like that, and he's got some speed. He's able to get in, get freaking, get the ball away, and keep moving very, very quickly down the field, which is fantastic. Bachara, Bachara's a weird one. He's got like he always talks about the monster inside, so he's one of my favorite characters. But he's got this insane passing ability. He is able to move the ball wherever it needs to go to get the ball to whoever it needs to get it to with little to no effort. Well, against the people that he's playing against, and so like that. Again, as you step up in skill and they move up in rank, and so that they're going to face other players with abilities as well. Some of these abilities may counter their abilities or just flat out stop them cold. Just depends on what they're up against. So seeing that was awesome. Nagi. Nagi is a really, really interesting character for that because he's just kind of like a laid back. I want to do nothing. He's paired with Rayo, and Rayo is very adaptable. He's like a utility player. He can play any kind of position and do whatever needs, whatever the team needs. He's good at kind of seeing and guiding, people on where they need to be. And that's why with Nagi, and he's like, "Yo, you're good at this. Like you're good at ball handling. Like he's got crazy, dribbling skills." So it's like, hey, I can utilize you, come play with me. And there's a whole part of their backstory so that he ends up getting him to come play with him. Nagi's just like real lazy. I don't do nothing. But Nagi just kind of ends up ramping up at some point and just like, yo, I'm in this. So when he's on the field, he's putting in work because he's actually being challenged now. It's not just oh, I can do this and whatever. Like he's got a challenge. So it's just really interesting the way that the characters are going and learning about their stuff, and they develop relationships with each other individually as they're kind of going through. And if we get to Asagi, who's the main character, and he learns his ability is spatial awareness. He is aware of what everybody is doing on the field at all times. Like his thing is just kind of like, I know where everything is, what everybody's doing or whatever. So when a new power is introduced, he kind of has to ramp up and kind of deal with it and figure out how to work around it. But again, his thing is like about putting pieces on the board, putting the puzzle together, seeing the full picture. What a lot of people, again, they zone out, they got that tunnel vision. He's all about seeing the full picture and knowing what's going on and then using that to his advantage as a striker, as a passer, as setting up his team, whatever. So really good in that regard. Think about this anime and what made it fun for me was the fact is that you never know when somebody was going to get eliminated or swapped out at any point in time. They played as a team all the way up until a certain episode. Again, spoilers. Like everything I gave you now is just kind of like, hey, this is kind of general knowledge for that. Everything after here is definitely going to be solid spoilers. So just be prepared for that. You find out that Blue Lock, there was no teams A through Z or buildings A through Z, whatever. It was only there wasn't, it was supposed to be 5 buildings, and they were the 5th building, and they had the team VWXYZ or whatever. That's not the case. There was only one building with 5 different teams, which is VWXYZ. The guy who's running the show, Ego, was playing them the entire time. He's like, I wanted to freaking see, who's going to fight the hardest. I had to make everybody think they were bottom of the barrel, so they would fight harder to be at the top, which was genius. Of course, he's drawing everything out of people, and he's using examples from all over different parts of soccer. So that, like one of the best strikers in the world currently for them was a child who was kind of born in poverty and stuff like that, and he had to claw fight for his way up, to the top. So he kind of saw that as a shining example. So let's get these people, make them think they're at the bottom of the barrel, and make them fight. Bring out that inner monster, demon, whatever it is, to fight. Absolutely fantastic to see. I thought it was good because now they end up fighting all the way as a team to the top, and then after they end up fighting as a team to the top, they end up getting split up. So now they got to fight in different ways as they get their conditioning and stuff. Now they form three-man teams with everybody. So now it's not just who was in their housing unit. So all VW, X, Y, and Z are there. Whoever comes in, you quickly form a team of 3 and you move on to the next selection stage. You keep moving on. As you play through with 3, if you lose, the winning team picks a person off of the team that they want, off the losing team. They pick that person, and now that makes a 4-man team. The 2-man team now has to drop back into the room, pick up a third player, and go back out. And they got to keep doing this until they win all the matches. So if you're at a 4-man team and you lose, hey, the other 4-man team is going to choose a player and stuff like that, and then drop you out. So that, and you got to go back down to the next stage and battle in the 3-man again. So that you got to keep doing this until you work your way all the way up to the finish line. And eventually it gets to the point where it's like, hey, this is the team that's going to play. And it's like we get down to a 5-on-5 or whatever. And basically they're just scrapping because the whole thing is whoever gets to the top, whoever his selection team is, so that team is going to get a shot at playing against the Japan U20 team. Like that's the whole goal. The Japan U20 is the national representative match of all Japan. Like this is the team where it's like this is what they want to shut down Blue Lock. They want to shut down Ego and everything he's doing because they don't think he can handle it. Ego's like, no, if we do this, so that like we're gonna prove because everybody's like a forward, I think. Everybody's set up to be a striker. So like we're gonna prove that this team, my Blue Lock team, can beat the Japan U20 team. And if they do, then they hijack the Japan U20 team. So I don't know exactly what that means. Like they hijack, they take all the players and stuff like that, or do they take over and become the Japan U20 team? And what's the team consist of? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out, and that's the setup for season 2. So I'm excited to see this because you might get different perspectives of different characters and what they're going through. But when we had the Blue Lock movie that dropped, that actually went from Nagi's perspective, which I was surprised to see. So it pretty much replayed the events for the entire season 1. So that which anime has been doing this of late, they kind of replay and they give you a little something new at the end of it to kind of give you something. Demon Slayer's been doing it where like the movie Mugen Train, great, absolutely stood alone, so no problem. But when the other movies have been like the end of the season episode and then the first episode of the new season, they've been kind of combining them, and that's kind of what they've been doing the last 2 movies at least. So this is kind of a similar take, but different at the same time. With getting Nagi's perspective, you kind of see Nagi's full backstory and what's been going on with him, like, as far as in relation to Blue Lock and his relationship with Rayo, and you see what's going through Nagi's head as he moves up through all the rankings and stuff to get to where he's at, and why Nagi made a decision that he made in one of the episodes. I think it was like episode 11 or 12, something like that. Like he made a decision, which he joined up with people that wasn't Rayo, who he's been with since the beginning. So Rayo took that as betrayal, like, oh my God, you did this to me. And that's where it kind of rolls into whatever he's doing, how he's feeling, where his ability and stuff comes from, and how it ends with them going against the Japan U20. And so now you got Isagi and Nagi, who I think freaking, Deuteronomous, like they're both kind of the focus right now on where things are going. And they make a good team. And again, the entire team is set up accordingly. People who made it. So like Nagi's one of the ones that made it. Rayo is back. He made it. Which how's that going to work between Nagi and Rayo? Since Nagi left Rayo and Rayo was kind of hurt by that. That's the whole thing. Chiguri is there. That freaking Isagi's there. Bachira is there. Itoshi, that's one of the ones that's there. Itoshi was one of the greatest ones in the Blue Lock thing, but Itoshi's brother is on the Japan U20 team, and I don't know how he feels about that or how they're gonna interact. I have no idea, but I'm excited to see it, and it's gonna be interesting as to how this plays out. So, season 2 should be about 14 episodes, if I remember correctly, and everything's about turning 0 into 1, and then turning that 1 into multiples, and just exponentially getting greater and greater as things goes on. I was not a huge soccer/football fan. I've watched it occasionally. I only kind of watch it when it comes to the World Cup, so that I don't have a team. I just like to watch and kind of just see what's going on, so that see how things are going. If it's anything like basketball for me, I like players, not necessarily teams. Just like to watch certain players because they're good at the game, or they move a way that I think is interesting or whatever. Basketball, well, Steph Curry. Steph Curry is great. I love the shooting. Great character. So if he's a character in anime, he's a character that I would probably like and I would follow through. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to Blue Lock, so like that. And that's one of the reasons why I like Bachira. Like I said, he's he's a little weird with that, but he's fun and freaking he's got this deep seated like this kind of like this rage is building so that, but it's like a good like the monster inside, and it's got me intrigued. So I'll kind of wonder how it is in terms of soccer because it made me more interested in soccer slash football. Try to, and I want to see how it kind of goes from there. So I want to watch more soccer. I want to watch more football. I want to see more of how the sport is itself, and even without the anime and the powers and the skills and abilities and stuff like that, the sport itself has proved me interesting because I've been watching clips of old games and stuff like that. It's just like this is what's up. Like there's a lot of passion behind it. There's a lot of drive. There's a lot of excitement. So at that, it's low scoring at most times. So at that, because of how active other players are, and I love it. So and that's something that freaking I love. That freaking when you got something with anime or video games and stuff like that, that can help you transition into different things, and they have these crossovers and stuff like that. I'm cool as long as it doesn't get too ridiculous. I was looking at you Fortnite because it's wild, but I like it. It's interesting. So I definitely want to try and record this for you guys and give my reviews on it as it comes out. There's a few other animes, like I said, I'm looking at watching. Dan to Dan is one of the other ones that I was looking at trying to see. And some of these other ones are going into like season 2, season 3. I'm going to be doing periodic recaps on stuff that I try to watch when I have time and try and get that stuff out to you guys and see what your opinion is. So if you got any animes that you think I should watch, by all means, drop them in the comments and stuff. Let me see what it is that you're interested in and see where it goes. Because Demon Slayer, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's Paradise, Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 8, freaking several animes that freaking had no idea about until right before they dropped. They've been mangas for a while. I'm definitely getting into it. It's a different perspective for me because again, reading the manga is one thing. Watching anime is a different thing. Why? Because as anime, I don't know what's going to happen. Whereas manga fans who go and watch anime, they already know most of what's going on, so they're not as surprised as I am. So you're going to get a little bit more genuine reaction out of me, just because I don't know what's coming. But I think I've droned on long enough. There's again more anime that I want to get into, so I'm going to try and get those out to you guys as quickly as I can. I may not be spot on right when it drops and stuff, but I'm gonna try at least make sure that it's same day. And again, just love to hear from you guys and see what you guys think. So appreciate you guys for being here. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit that lovely red subscribe button and join us. And again, we're gonna try and keep up with everything from Marvel, DC, anime, Lord of the Rings, gaming, more, whatever we can do. So it's me, my boy Tony, and my boy Brent. So at that, Brent's been holding it down for a lot of the anime stuff, as well as some Marvel stuff, and he's been freaking a true player stuff. So hey, Tony has been giving me all the knowledge so that everything that comes to DC, because again, DC I don't know like I know Marvel. So we've been having fun here. We want you guys to join in too. So make sure to catch you guys in the next one.